my POP this year was about increasing the use of high effect size strategies. When you triangulated my data, we're not performing where we need to be, and I wanted my teachers to begin to think more intentionally about their instruction. So my actions were really about providing them training to support their ongoing learning with the strategies, but then the big piece is me being in their classrooms to see if they're using those strategies. And so that's what my chart shows. The darker blue column is how many times, when I went into classrooms, did walkthroughs, in October, 38% of the classrooms were using one of the high effect size strategies. And as a reminder, it was vocabulary instruction, cooperative learning, reciprocal teaching, or thinking strategies. 3 of those we were already familiar with. Reciprocal teaching was the new one. So we were at 38%. In the month of April, I have seen it in 73% of the classrooms that I have visited. So we are getting better at using those. And in thinking about my actions for next year, I feel like I'm going to stay with high effect size strategies, but it's going to be more about more effective use, which is I have a list of things from Ms. Dougal and Ms. Shields to help me with for that. And to measure my impact, it was really about looking at assessment data. I am looking at map data as well, and preliminarily we have made a lot of gains this year, and I'm really excited about that. But this is about my common, formative, and summative assessment data. And when I shared this with my staff, part of my reflection is I don't always feel like that is accurate reflection, because that 61% is some summative and some formative. And as a matter of fact, that 61% is actually, for transparency, a little bit lower, because the data team met today and they emailed me their data on April formative, and it was a formative, and so it's lower. And they're like, they now say to me, well, it's not where it should be. And my question to them is this formative or summative? And they'll say, well, it's formative, and we'll talk about well, that's okay, because that's the data team process, is to now, what are you going to do for that before you give the summative? But in the end, I feel like this whole process has given my staff focus and given me focus to know what I'm looking for. And I'm very clear with them. I will not, when I give them feedback, I use an old school written document, and I will not give them credit for vocabulary if they just have the words stuck on the wall or written on the board and do no instruction or integration into their lesson. And next year, I think it's going to stay aligned to high effect size strategies. It's just going to be a little deeper with it, I think. So.